So this is it. We are at Linear Fisheries. To be fair, we got here yesterday, probably about 10 past 8, and we didn't probably get a rod in the water till 1 o'clock. When we got here, we had a walk round St John's.
Yeah.
Had a walk round Hardwick's, Hardwick Smith's. Had a walk round. Well, looked round B1. Spoke to one of the Corder guys on peg 6. Young lad Jamie, one of the British carpers. He was absolutely bagging up from peg 6. And we know just opposite on the, what's this called, the spit?
Spit.
They were on the spit, so we're on peg 37. He said because they're fishing in the bowl that he's fishing in, that's where they're all gathered up, that fishing this will be pretty difficult. So we're a bit reluctant to fish Hardwicks. So that's why we had to walk around St John's, we had to walk around B1. There's the swans. But every single one of them was rammed. Every single one of them was rammed. People were queuing up to get on B1. So I think it's the swans, mate, on that. Swans are absolute pain here. You come right close in, just crash into your rods, knock them all off the pods. They're not bothered you. Oh well, it's banter, isn't it? So yeah, so people were queuing up to get onto B1. People were queuing up to get onto Hardwick. Someone had already put a bucket down yesterday to get onto peg 6 on Hardwick. So as we looked over, we saw they were packing up on it on this side. So we had a walk over, spoke to the lads who were fishing, and there was 3 of them, peg 37 downwards for 3, and they had 9 fish between them. So that kind of gives an indication that there were fish this side. It just wasn't as prolific as that side. So after about 3 hours of walking around, we decided, right, we're going to put a bucket down here. So we come in, we put a bucket down. Gav went to the tackle shop and we were given the advice to, I'm on the hot spot, which is 18 wraps straight out in front of me. And Gav he's now changed today. We've had a bit of recently we've kind of self-taught, haven't we, how to use the lead, and how to lead down.
Feel the
that
bounce and then drag across, find a clear spot.
I did it 18 wraps. I was getting that donk every time. It was nice and smooth. You could feel it hit the weed.
I was fishing towards peg 6, trying to get the back end of his fish, and I was fishing at 10. First off, I started at 15 wraps, but every time I reeled in, chunks and chunks of weed. So I got the deeper out, and it was really weedy day. So I had to go then at 10 wraps. The only problem was it went from 15 foot down into 24 foot. So I've then spent all night fishing in 24 foot of water to bring it in to find weed on it again. So to be honest, I messaged a young lad that tends to fish this a lot. He's on Instagram, YouTube, got his own YouTube called Oak Carp. So I've messaged him for a bit of advice, just to say, right, if you was fishing here with your mate, where would you be fishing on the right hand side? And he's given me some advice this morning and said if I was you, I'd be going towards peg 5 at 19 wraps. So I got the lead out this morning, whacked it, felt the donk, nice, boom, so it's hard surface, dragged it across, and I got about 3 rod lengths before I hit the weed. So the weed is there, but I've got a patch of about 3 rod lengths at 19 wraps. So obviously, it's like starting afresh for me. Nothing on my 2 swims, only just found a spot. Was debating today whether to chuck zigs on, but because I only just found that spot, I've got a bit of bait out on it. I put about 6 spawns out, just over the top of it, put both rods out there. So now I'm just, as they say, just started fishing. But yeah, I don't know if it's worth a zig or not. It's warm. We've seen 2 or 3 show. Crashed out the water. So it might be worth, I'll give it an hour, I think, and then it might be worth going the zigs.
So anyway, we ended up on here. We weren't disappointed because this is on the maps online. This is one of the hot spot pegs, so we weren't that bothered really. So when we got here, found the spot, put some bait in. I banged the rods in. Probably about 45 minutes later, I had a run, hooked it, it felt like a good fish. That old cliche, the one that got away, but it really did feel like a good fish. Got close in, went for a bit of a run. It must have gone into some weed, because as soon as it went down, I felt it come off, and as it reeled in, I was clogged with weed. So, and since then, I've probably had 4 or 5 more runs. Every time I'm trying to hit them, you're either not taking the bait in properly or I'm not hooking them.
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't know.
You've had, like you say, you've had your runs, gone. So it jumped out. Oh.
The trouble is, some of them are really nice. So by the time I've got up, I've got my shoes on, I'm at the bivvy, got to my line, either the run stopped or they've dropped it, or it's not been hooked properly. So fingers crossed. Yesterday, every time we go out somewhere, we've got the weather against us all the time, haven't we?
Yeah.
Cuttlemill last week was just throwing down a rain, and yesterday it was like a hurricane. The wind was just relentless. So trying to cast 18 wraps and get the spot accurate, get my leads, getting the bait accurate wasn't too, as in my hook bait, wasn't too bad. But getting the spom out of there, it was just drifting to the left and drifting. It was just all over the place. So today is flat calm. It's like a mill pond today. So it looks good. We've seen the fish crashing out. Lad over on peg 6, he's already had one. We're not surprised because we don't know why. And another one's just crashed out there towards your peg.
Okay. What? No.
They just the fish is holding it. Your new peg. The fish are just, for some reason, are holding up at peg 6, but apparently it's like that all the time. So hopefully.
And there was a guy in peg 4 who'd already put his name on peg 6 the night before, and said as soon as that young lad comes off, he's dropping on. I understand, but it's a bit unfair in some respects, because then all the people turning up on the day, we've crashed down here, 2-hour drives, 5 in the morning, and it's like, oh, I'm already on there, mate. And he warned us before we even started walking over. He's like, oh, I'm already on that peg, I'll put a bucket on it. But it is what it is. If I can get a couple of fish on the bank, I'll be happy. Now I'm in a clear spot anyway.
I should have had 5 on the bank right now, but I will.
Yeah.
What can you do? So I was this close to breaking this blanking spell that I've had.
Now you know what time it is, isn't it? I think it's time you got the sausages on.
What? I made the coffee.
Sausages.
So you put sausages on, mate, because I made the coffee. So you can do sausages with bacon. That's only fair. Everyone probably agrees that's probably fair. So why do you think get sausages on?
I'll cook them in here.
We'll have a talk about our spod mix in a bit. So hopefully on this video we are going to have some fish to show you, especially me.
We've still got time. We've still got at least 36 hours if we want it. It's PM tomorrow, so we've got time. Keep posted. There's a fish coming.
From me, hopefully. So right, keep watching, guys, and we'll catch you in a bit. So guys, just quickly talk you through what spod mix I'm using. So I've kept it very, very, very simple, because of all the research I've done about this place. They've said that they love corn, they love to grow about, they love all the particle. So what I've gone with is 5 kilo of sweet corn. I've got some chopped up boilies in there, some sweet nut boilies from Atlantic Baits, some sweet nut like a stick mix in there, some oats and things like that, so the fish can get grubbing about. I've got some, just to give it that bit of an edge, I've got the manila, the sticky manila liquid, just to give it that bit of an edge for it. The hook bait, I'm trying to talk about my spod mix, man. Disturbing me. The hook baits that I've been using, and the ones that I've had all of my runs are on the chocolate and orange pop-ups from Atlantic Baits. I've had them, what I've done, I've got some 14 mils. So what I've been doing, I've been putting them on, and then I've been trimming the sides, to try and mimic the corn a little bit, and then putting a bit of the mist to match this. Just cover it in a bit of the mist, so when it goes in, it gives off this like a green cloud, really, really attractive in the water. So that's what I've been using. This morning I've kind of mixed it up a bit. I've got a sweet nut pink pop up on. This is that. This is a 16 mil, and I've done the same again. I've trimmed it up to try and mimic obviously the corn. I know it's not corn colour, but that's what I've gone with today. So we'll see what starts biting. If nothing starts biting, I'll change it up. You know, I've got the coconut and plum. I've got some paste from them. Got the chocolate orange in like a washed out pink. So we'll see what's going to work. We'll see what's going to do what. But I'm using quite a sweet spod mix. I want to try and match that with my hook bait. Hence the chocolate orange. Hence the sweet nut. I'm sick of you taking a mick at me all the time. So yeah, that's the liquid I put in. A bit of sticky mix, cloudy vanilla liquid. So it's just to give it that bit of an edge, bit of a sweet smell out there, a bit of a cloud up. We have put a bit of a bit of a zig mix in there as well, just to give it that cloud in the water, just to try and bring him in. So this morning when I woke up about 7 o'clock, brought both my rods in, cast out again, try to make sure my spot's still how it should be, and then I fired about 10 spoms in, but re-wrapped at 18 wraps, fired both back out again. So hopefully we're going to be in for a bite today. Like I said, I'd run yesterday, so I've got no reason to suggest why today wouldn't be the same. So like I said, guy over on Peg 6 already had a fish this morning. We've seen fish coming out of the water, so hopefully we are in for a decent day. So keep watching, guys, and hopefully we will have some fish for you. So after hold up.
For saying there's no fish in your area.
Camera's on.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to. So I just switched to a zig, everyone. Literally zig. 5 minutes out in the water. I can't tell you, that's all it was. Screams off. 18.7. Gorgeous mirror at 18.7. And then, while we're trying to weigh this and sort it out, Mikey screams
Mine rips off.
24
coming.
Bang dead.
Oh, double take. So we're going to get these back, get the rods back out, try and get some more bangers.
First Hardwick Smith.
The blank is over. The blank's over. Quality. Keep watching, guys. I'll have some more fish hopefully. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do is just quickly show you what rig I've been using throughout the set. I've changed the hook baits, taking the advice of the bailiffs, taking advice of people at the shop, doing a bit of research online, things like that. Yellow baits seem to be the baits on this lake. It's a yellow chocolate and orange pop-up that did it for me for the common that you've just seen. So both my rods now on them. And all I'm doing is simple Ronnie rig, bit of putty, and that is it. And that's what I've been doing the business. So all I'm using is 25-pound braid from Tackle on Wheels, just a standard rig with an anti-tangle sleeve on it, and that's what's been catching the fish. So we just had the deeper back out because the zigs went a bit quiet, and it looks like the fish have all moved to the bottom now. Around where Gav's fishing, so he's gone back on the bottom now. He's got some of the pop-ups from Atlantic Baits on, and hopefully the fish is now moving across the lake, and hopefully we'll get some decent fish. So keep watching, and hopefully we'll have some more fish to show you. But we are more than happy with the fish we've caught today. It's made the session worthwhile. It's worth all the work is worthwhile. So we're very, very happy.
Morning, guys. That's me telling Mike. Let's spot after breakfast.
Telling me off.
we just put 3-4 out, probably 4 out about half an hour ago. So, but it's really treacherous wind the first thing this morning, so struggled to get any bait anywhere. I've freshened my hook baits up. So yeah, I say let's have a last cup of coffee. Cheers. And
it's freezing.
And a bacon cob. And then I'm warm now, but I have got my big tracker coat on. Right.
So I'm only here, I'm freezing. I've got my coat behind me. Yeah, we had nothing through the night really.
Not even a run. Literally, really quiet. But then the guy yesterday on peg 6, we're keeping an eye on him, and he wasn't doing much at all. First thing this morning, I think I've seen him have 3 fish, so he must have just travelled back down that way a little bit and holding up in that bowl down there. But
need to try and get some bait in. One of my actual spod reel that I use all the time is, what would you say, frapped. It's frapped up.
Like a bird's nest.
And it's been on since about 18 months, so I've had to keep using it and I've run out. I've had to use a spare reel. I've only literally just got about 17 wraps on it. So the last wrap is actually lined. So I'm going to try and get some spods out in a bit. Well, after I've had my brew, Gav's made me my bacon butty. And see if I can get some more bait out. We have been kind of lightly baiting for yesterday, but today's last day, so I'm just going to chuck it all in, get some new yellow pop-ups on. I'm still going to stick to the Atlantic baits, chocolate orange pop-ups cut up. That's what's been having my runs, that's what I've been catching on, so that's what I'm going to keep using. There's no point changing if you're catching the fish.
Catching the fish?
Well, catching the one fish. We've had the runs, haven't we? Yeah. We've had runs. We can't say we've not had bites and runs and knocks. So the sun's out today, so whether Gav decides to go on a zig, get us deeper out, I don't know.
May potentially if the sun gets up a bit more, but it's not cold either again, so it's getting the deeper out, finding where.
I'm freezing.
It won't be in a bit, but finding where the fish are and then putting one mid layers. Problem is, this lake's so up and down. 19 wraps towards peg 5, it's 14, 15 foot. You go 2 wraps to the right, so 1 bag cast, and you're sat in 22 foot. But that's where I had my zig yesterday and caught my fish. I just went further right, dropped it straight on the red in 22 foot of water with a 12 foot zig, and then someone come across and had it away. Like, it was only in 15 minutes. Literally, I must have cast on the top of a shoal or something. But so yeah, I might get the deeper out in a bit and just have a look.
But the biggest news of the 48-hour session is I broke the blank.
Yeah, no fish since September.
I caught a fish. I caught a carp, and it's a bloody lovely one and all. 24-pound common. So hopefully I'll have another one before we go home. But we're going to slowly pack up throughout the day because it's a bit of a trek to the car. So we'll still have a pack up and then leave the rods out. I cut that video off then. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. So as I was saying, we're going to slowly pack up and we will hopefully have a few fish throughout the day. So keep watching, guys. Hopefully I'll have some more fish to show you. Fingers crossed. So finish my coffee, have a bacon, start spotting, get the baits out, and then we'll see how we get on. So keep watching, guys.
Hey up guys, so literally into last knockings now. We've probably got a couple of hours left, if that, probably about an hour. We deepered over to the left hand side of the swim. Nobody's fishing down the left hand side, and it was unbelievable. Ping, 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 fish galore over there.
Hundreds of them.
Literally hundreds. So I've just dropped down to the left peg, just chucked my pod and my rods out on zigs, 12 foot zigs, because they're all halfway up in the water. So I just chucked a couple of zigs out there. Mikey's chucked a couple of zigs out. Everywhere we've deepered, the fish have been up in the water. So we thought, last chance saloon, got a deeper out just for a little bit, just to finish off. But yeah, so just the one fish. I know it's obviously not a mass haul, but that one fish is still good for winter fishing for me.
Well, no one else has really caught on the lake.
Yeah, there haven't been loads out. There's not been loads out at all. Probably the guy in peg 6 has obviously had a few because that's the money swim. But yeah, it's got busier already though. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 7, 8 guys turned up now. So
Social banks all taken. So
Yeah.
what peg? 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
yeah,
There's people fishing on all of them. I've not seen any of them catch. A couple have been here since yesterday and a couple have turned up today. So we're quite happy with the result we've had. We've learnt a lot. I mean, when people say this place is an egg box, they're not joking.
oh,
It's unbelievable.
I tell you what though, to the right hand side of the swim, if you're casting directly to peg 5, 19 wraps, it's like it goes 18 foot up to 15 foot, and you've got literally 2 rod lengths, and then it drops back off again. And it's clean as a whistle, absolutely clean. In the
But
summer,
then 2 rods to the right of that,
yeah,
there's like a big 24-foot bowl, should we say? And that's where the fish were showing yesterday, and that's where Gav cast the zig, and within 5 minutes it ripped off.
yeah.
So we've learnt a lot, and we can't wait to come back to this place. You know, as a fishing, I think it's a complex, isn't it, because of the amount of lakes. As a fishing complex, this place is phenomenal. You got this that will offer you all kinds of different depths of fishing. I've got a zig in a minute in 35 foot of water, and that's only 19 wraps to my left.
It's unbelievable. It's up and down like a yo-yo. It's crazy.
Yeah. Then you got B1, which is what, 12 foot
Just
all
12
round.
foot in the middle, innit?
St John's, we spoke to a few people there. There's a few varies on depth. But next time we come here for 48, we'll probably do St John's, won't we?
Yeah, if we can get on there.
We'll probably do St John's. Because I've said, I know I love catching carp and we're carp anglers, but I wouldn't mind getting one of the catfish out of there. Just to experience that bite and the fight of a catfish. But if anyone is watching this who hasn't been to Linear yet, who does want to come to Linear, definitely come here with an open mind. Definitely.
If we were in hindsight, we would have probably, if they'd have not shut it in sealed text the lake, we would have gone straight for St John's, and we'd have had a choice of a lot of swims. We could have had on the bank at the back, we could have had the beach swim, we could have had any of them swims because all the guys were going. But
the peg that Corder fished off, what's that?
Henman Hill. We could have had
That was going to be freeing up, so we could have had that. But he said he'd been casting all around and not had a nibble.
So we kind of took the punt to go, you know what, if that switched off a little bit. But then we ended up on the spit. We were worried we were going to lose it because there was a lot of people barrowing and bucketing round. So we were worried we were going to lose the spit. So we ended up just impulsing and just chucking on it.
I think,
in hindsight, we could have probably been better off going on B1, but it was really busy on B1. Everybody was waiting for swims. You didn't know it was free because there was people queuing all over the place. But
I think if anything, I thought it was my rod then. me and Gav were discussing that we've said that we need to start having confidence in our own fishing. I knew what tactic I wanted to use. I'd researched a tactic. I knew it would work on the lake. That's what I've had my fish on. So that's what we've kind of discussed, haven't we? If we'd have stuck to our guns, we'd have probably fished B1. Because the pegs are a little bit bigger than this. You've got a little bit more room. The guys that were fishing on it had 39 fish. I think one of them was Tom Maker. I think he was fishing just as we arrived. The young lad who from Cord who was on peg 6, he'd had God knows how many fish, and the people we spoke to, like I said, on this peg, they'd had 9 between them. Between the 3 of them, they'd had 9 fish. So I think in hindsight, we'd have gone B1, maybe. But we've come here purely because I think we were panicking that all the pegs were going. So we wanted to get on a peg that was classed as the hot spot or a good place to fish. But in hindsight, that there were a lot more pegs than what we initially thought. So good, cracking place. So can't wait to come back here.
Yes, I think definitely one of the brazen houses next time we come back with it. B1 or B2.
Yeah.
Or like I say, or St John's.
Yeah, definitely.
Depends when we can get down. Because I don't see the point. It's a 2-hour drive just over for us. So I don't see the point in coming here for 24. So
No, it'd be a 48 or a 72, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Easy. So I think springtime, probably maybe try and get down maybe March. Probably before we go to France. We go to France April 25th.
Yeah, 25th.
April 25th of April we'll go to France. So we're going there for a week. Can't wait for that. Fishing a new lake again. I'll tell you what, these swans, they've been an absolute pain. All they do, they come in like that and they just crash into your rods. They are not bothering this lake whatsoever. So thanks for watching, guys. We've had the one fish. Hey up. I've dangled the camera wrong. We've had the one fish, and the one fish we have had, well, 2 fish, sorry. My first fish 2020 was a 24-pound common. I can't argue with that. I've absolutely loved catching it. It's my favourite carp to catch, so I'm over the moon with it. So brilliant. I've had a good time. We've had a good laugh. We're out on the bank, and we've learned a lot. Next time we are going to have confidence on our own fishing, and we're going to stick by our guns and fish what we feel like, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think this was a panic choice,
Yeah.
rather than we're happy with this peg. So even though it is classed as a hot spot, we're advised that this lake isn't fishing unless you're on peg 6
At the minute.
so the
In
fact
the
we-
winter.
yeah, so the fact we've had a fish would suggest that we've done something right, and nevertheless we've had a good time. So please subscribe, please like, head over to Facebook. We're on there now, our Facebook page, Beginner Carp UK. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Please feel free to get in contact if you want to try and get a social together, anything like that. We'd love to meet up with you guys and get some more time on the bank. Probably going to do a day session in a couple of weeks, aren't we? We don't know where yet, but we'll get on the bank somewhere and hopefully have some more fish on the bank. So my blank session has finished. My blank session's finished. I've caught a fish. I'm happy. So cheers for watching, guys.